Aquarius, how you doing? So we're just doing. I can't speak. Someone can't speak or feel like they shouldn't speak. It's kind of like, well, I shouldn't know. I don't know or shouldn't know if I should or should I not. Something to do with Libra or the High Priestess. But I'm hearing a lot of speaking but not speaking. Like, well, I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking. It's like, look who's talking. It's kind of like this. Man, there seems to be a lot of talking and a lot of no talking, and I can't figure that out. That's confusing. It's like, well, I can't figure out whether I'm supposed to be talking or not talking. Like, am I silenced in a certain way? Definitely picking up big energies of the High Priestess around you, around Libra, around like a silent witness, or like I have no choice but to just be silent and just put up with it. Because I'm hearing, well, I'll just put you up, or like put up or shut up is what I'm hearing. Like, just put me up or shut me up. Or like, you can't shut me up, but you're going to have to put me up. Like, is this someone that's renting out a room or something? And you're like, well, look, I'm just trying to put up with you, really. But like, just shut up because you're getting on my nerves. Is this someone that you're living with? Like, and they just do your head in and they constantly make you feel like you can't speak and you can't talk and you can't do anything. Because it feels like this energy that is presently with you. Like, it's around you constantly, right? Like Andrew or anything like that, but like, they're around you constantly. Now, this can be at work, it can be at home, and it can be within your love life. But I'm definitely hearing that a presence that is presently with you, so we're not talking about anything metaphysical, we're talking about a person at home. And it feels like that you have to creep around to speak and not speak, and then speak when spoken to, but you don't want to speak to the person anyway. So it's kind of like this, look who's talking. And then somebody that holds people accountable for their actions, as if to say, man, I've got so much on my chest that I want to get off, but I can't speak to the people that are here anyway, and I'm so fed up with not knowing who to speak to or when to speak, and whether I can speak to them or whether I should or whether I shouldn't. And I don't know if someone's got a high temper. If you're dealing with, watch the Capricorn reading, because in their reading, there was something to do with around a Sagittarius in reverse. So I don't know if you've got Sag in your chart somewhere, but that was very complicated, because that was someone that just loses their temper very quickly, and it feels like that it might have something to do. It doesn't have to be a Sagittarius, but that's the only thing I can think of someone that loses their temper very quickly. Temperance, yeah, temperance. I am picking up like a temper tantrum of Sagittarius. But it was very big and present in the Capricorn reading, but they had loads of Scorpio and nines, Virgo and nines in theirs. So I don't know if you're dealing with those energies of Scorpio, Virgo and Temperance, which would be Sagittarius. But Aquarius, it really seems like, I mean, this could be your mum or your father or something, I don't know, because I'm picking up the place that you spend the most time, really. So majority of people, the majority of the time of where people spend is at work, generally. Okay, or the name Jen, or Julian, or Jason, or Jasmine, or Justin. But like, the place that I spend the majority of my time, I feel like I can't speak. I want to speak, but I can't speak. And it's like I am like fighting against these people that keep forcing me not to say something, but I have to. Like, I can't let this go on. Like, I want to... Oh man, I am so confused. Is it a Libra energy that's very confused, like, too? Because I'm picking up... I'm so confused now. Like, I don't know whether I'm supposed to be speaking about it, whether I'm not supposed to be speaking about it, whether I'm supposed to show up, or whether I'm not supposed to show up to work. Like, say, for instance, that you've got a boss, and they keep changing your rota. And you're like, hold on a minute, I just turned up to work, and then all of a sudden they turn me away and told me that I've got to go back again. And then it's like, yeah, but every time I reach out to my boss and I say something around like, you know, am I in today? They have a temper tantrum, and you're like, shit. Because I keep picking up whatever it is, Aquarius, that you turn up somewhere and then you get turned down or turned away. And it's like I rock up there and I turn up, and then all of a sudden I'm like so confused whether I'm supposed to be here or not that I don't actually physically know. So the only thing that I can think that is for you is work. Whether it's like you get to work and then you're like, man, what am I doing today? And then someone's like, oh, just go and do that. And you're kind of like, oh man, shit. Like, I can't tell you, like, this is really annoying me and this is really getting on my nerves. And there is something here that's really getting on someone's nerves, but they feel like that they can't tell the person because they don't know what the response is going to be from the person that they ask. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if this is a mother or a friend or anybody, but or a boss. but it definitely feels that you're compromised in that energy. It could be a stuck energy, it could be something to do with around a Pisces, and it feels like that if I ask you this, I don't know what you're going to say to it, or if I like am I bugging you, or it feels like that, like am I bugging you, am I annoying you, like what's your temper going to be today, like what's your temperature going to be today, and like, you know, because I keep picking up someone that could probably like at the moment's notice just like say a wrong word, and you're like, oh man, I can't get a word in edgeways, like I keep trying to speak and I keep trying to say something to you, but every time I do, you kind of like, you just like give me a backhanded compliment or something, or like, I don't know, like, what is this about compliments? Like a backhanded compliment of some of someone that like they give you a compliment but they kind of turn it around back on you to make you feel bad about it, or like, I don't know, what is this, Michael Jackson or Jackie or Jacksonville, or like someone from Jacksonville, or the name Jack or Julian or Jason or Justin or Jay. But yeah, I keep picking these names up for you, and I really feel that whatever it is, it's a bugging energy. Like, am I bugging you? What are they going to say if I ask? And it feels like the moment I ask, I get turned down or turned away, like turned off or turned off, turned on. Is it some sort of like sexual attraction or some sort of like electrical thing? Like nighttime, daytime, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime. Ow, Steve. Ow, Steve. It's like, no, it's ow, 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 ow. No, Steve. That was the Facebook thing, right? And there was a crow. So Brandon or Lee, and you're like, look, crow, and you're like, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime. And you're like, man, you got to be dealing with the Virgo. So it's like, is it daytime or nighttime, Virgo? It's like, well, I don't really know. Is it daytime? It's like, oh man, what on earth is it? Well, it's Virgo energy. It's kind of like very confusing, whatever it is, very confusing. Well, for me to channel it, but let's see what your tarot looks like, even though I wasn't going to, and I just kind of said, right, we're not channeling, we're just going to do some straight up cards. But they seem to be some messages there, Aquarius. So let's see. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. What's going on with them? What go on, man, wagwan with me Aquarians. Me gens, me Julies. What goes on with me Julies? What goes on with me Ghoulies, I'm hearing. What go on with your Ghoulies? Julie. I'm hearing Julie. What go on with me Julies? Someone's smoking weed, probably. Or that might be you trying to duck and dive at work then. What go on with me Julies? What go on with your Ghoulies? Let's see. Aquarius. Aquarians. Oh, shit, bruv. You're straight out with the toxicity. Oh, fuck. Y'all need to watch the Capricorn reading. What on earth is it? Because that adds some very peculiar kind of stuff there. Man. It suddenly got toxic. It suddenly turned into an obsession. Food, drinking, alcohol, trying to stop doing it. I can't help it, but all I want to do is do it. This could be a sex addiction that someone has. They can't stop thinking about the person sexually. Like sexual healing, but I got a sexual feeling that it's bad. So you're like, listen, Michael, I might have a sexual feeling, and you might have had a nose job, Mike, but you know what? It's a bad feeling. So, shit, straight out with the first card of the devil. Somebody's dealing drugs or alcohol or double dealing, or like tempting. This came up for another reading and I forget what it was, and I'm drawn back to it again, which was copying, which was an energy here of tempting, of like looking over people's shoulders, and some people were getting back to me saying, yeah, that they're at college or school or something like that, and somebody was like peering in over someone's like other relation. That came up through theirs, like looking at Sagittarius, was it? Where I said like looking in over people's relationships and being more concerned about your own than theirs or something. So whatever that was, message, you'll have to watch Sagittarius and Capricorn. But here I am picking up that this devil energy here is like tempting, like here, and like looking over and trying to find something out. But there could be a lot of addictions here. It's ingrained in someone's head, either sexually or an itch or something like that. A niche. I'm also hearing niche. Niece. My niece and nephew, or Neff, or Steph. But someone's like nephew, like their auntie. Someone's auntie. So this is their auntie. Which is a Capricorn then, right? Sorry, let me concentrate. Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. What's Aquarius got coming up, please, from the 11th? Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Aquarius. I'm not going to take that card that I got because I'm not really concentrating on the energy. Someone's masturbating on someone's energy, whichever way it is. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Show me Aquarius, what I've got coming up, please. So, oh dear, Toxic Two of Cups, Toxic Two. The Toxic Two of Cups, or Toxita, or Utoxita, or Utah Saints. Utah Saints. Some of you are just reconnected back again. Like, it's like an energy of like, here's Johnny. Like reconnecting. Man, I don't know if that's toxic or not, man. Because it feels like a sexual attraction of a Two of Cups. Now, some of you're in absolute mythological masturbating on someone's energy that you're not with. Whichever way around it is for a lot of you. If you're with the person, then they are with the person. But if you're not, then you are kind of got a mythological Two of Cups with a person that you're not presently with, but you're masturbating on with them or on them, or whichever way around it is. You've got this sexual desire for this Two of Cups to become a Six of Cups. That's if you're not in the relationship with the person. If you are in a relationship with the person, then you've got some sort of kinky thing that's going on, some sort of kinky thing. But for a lot of you, you're not actually with this Two of Cups. And it's turned more into a sexual masturbating on the energy type sort of feeling, if I'm honest. Because a Two of Cups normally is a metaphysical connection than a physical one for me. Six of Cups is physical. But this is let's get physical on your energy type sort of thing, right? So, Aquarius. That'll only tell me more when because I would say that that's a toxic Two of Cups, that. But well, it probably won't seem toxic. It would seem sexually attracting, like it would be like very, very, very alluring and very dangerous and devious and like very kind of like, man, I can't stop thinking about this Two of Cups. Now it's in my head. Like the Capricorn energy of like being in my head, this Two of Cups is the only thing that I think about now. Now that is physically the relationship that you're in. And if you're not in one and you have the metaphysical feminine side, then you are literally just got this Two of Cups in your head constantly over and 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 over again. And sometimes it can really annoy you, and then sometimes it really arouses you, but then it really annoys you at the same time because you're not with the person, right? So whoever that is constantly on your mind, this is an Elvis Costello and an Elvis Presley as well, right? You were always on my mind, you were always on my mind. But if you're always on my mind and that energy is piss off, well that's because this energy is here, that's why, okay? So we'll have to see how that turns out. But Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Oh, thank you all so much for your birthday wishes and everything as well, and the donations and so on and so forth. I really do appreciate it. Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. For a lot of you, this is just a weight kind of problem thing. So you've got Leo energy, and then you've got the Five of Cups. See, this is why this is really not making sense. Because the Five of Cups is normally there when you're not with the person. And you've got 5 and 2, which is 7, which can be a very, which is just all myth. It's just all metaphysical and not physical. Like, majority of the time when these show up, it shows me that there's a metaphysical connection that's not true. Like, it's not real. It's just more in my head. Like, it's constantly in my head and it hasn't come true yet. And it actually makes me feel shit and worse more than what it actually does good. It kind of like arouses me now and again. But then when I come back to reality after a little while, I start to realise that this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to work. Okay, here. So somebody could have just found out that someone's met somebody else or with another person already. Okay, I think that did come up in another reading where somebody found out that they're with another person. Because you've got a Leo energy chasing a 5 of Cups, kind of, right? Because this is, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to get through to you. But why do you always feel so down? Now, I've got to also say these in readings as well. Because sometimes when you look at these cards, when I'm a reader, they look awful. Like they look like, oh God, what's the matter? But these can be minor things, right? Because you've got no, well, you have, you've got the Devil for the major card right at the beginning. But these can be minor things, right? They can be like, just like, all I think about is you all the time, that I want to be around you constantly all the time, or there's things on my mind that I want to do all the time, but I can't because I've got work. This is also like work, a workaholic, an alcoholic, alley, or whatever, but yeah, like I'm work, and I don't have time for a relationship. So it can be where there's a lot of like time that's needed in order to... I mean, I ain't gonna lie. For a lot of you, I'm really not picking this up being a relationship, like not a happy relationship. It's like the happy medium. So you might be dealing with Gemini because they had twice, I think, in the past. The happy medium gets everything, right? So it's something like, well, I'm happy, but I'm not happy, and I'm happy, and then the woman, I'm not happy, and I'm not satisfied. I mean, if I'm honest, this message here just shows me more metaphysical connection. The one that isn't true, the one that you're not with, right? The one that you're not with, the one that you want to be with, but the one that you're not with, right? The one that's without. You've got a third energy here, is really what I'm picking up. And you've got one that's with somebody and one that's without somebody. The one that's without somebody, that wants the person that's with another, is the one that has the 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups, has the supernatural twin flame connection of that it's not real, like it's just a connection, it's a thought, it's a feeling, but it's a feeling, right? Here. Because it's an expectation that what I think is going to happen may not have, like it may not be possible that this can ever really happen, right? So for, like I said, for a lot of you here, you are in this third party bind where, say, you've met someone here, right? You've met someone and you're with them, and then you've got your past that's behind you that wants you back as you want another person, or you've kind of got like a follow my leader type sort of thing, right? Where somebody in the Capricorn energy of the Devil could be in something that's extremely and utterly toxic in their life, and it could be, right? And because it is, you've kind of got this energy of like hope, right? Hope that one day this person might be able to get out of the thing that they're in, right? So because they had this, Sagittarius and Capricorn had this, I think, on one part of their reading, whether it be YouTube or Patron, where it was people that keep trying to set up connections before physically like going from one relationship to another relationship. Like you're in a relationship with a person, and then before they actually physically like leave the relationship, they get hooked up with someone else, even though they've still got someone else on their mind. And you get people that are like got kids, and Capricorn energy had that in their reading, where there was kids, children, and someone that was a promise of like knowing that this is never really going to happen. And then somebody met a person and they got with a person before they really got over their ex, and then they got back with their ex, and so on and so forth. And people that jump from one relationship straight into another one, straight into another one, straight into another one, straight into another one. And what you've got here is some kind of metaphysical connection of finding out that somebody could already be in a relationship, and it's left the person with the 2 of Cups, But in the Capricorn reading, it was more of that the person that had the Two of Cups was already in a situation that they didn't want to be in. Like they were already married or already in a toxic marriage or relationship themselves, trying to set up a Two of Cups energy with a person without physically even leaving a person, but already set that up. And then it kind of like backfired, went back around, done a 180-20 like twist, super twist, fucking backflip, God knows what else. And then it proved to this person that the expectation I had without leaving a person, that I had an expectation of being with the one, but then they turned around and they got back with somebody else. Because you Aquariuses, man, we or you or whatever, we've all had this like turn of events that where somebody went back to their past, got a Melina or whatever, Melina Dawn, right? But like, went back to the past, got that person interested, turned their back on them, came back, and you had all that scenario for the like month or 2 months or whatever it was. And then you got someone else towing the line at that point that got connected within this as well. And it feels like a ball of mess of like people setting up energies that are like where a lesson is being learned through a Capricorn energy, that people that sit in relationships, right, that are with toxic husbands or whatever, right, that get into a situation, they pull up a Two of Cups, but they're already in, because Capricorn had that big time in their reading. And it was a message of, before I'm even like divorced, or before I'm even left my wife or husband or whatever, before I've even done that, I'm setting up connections of these mythological things that never really turn into the Six of Cups, right? They just end up more of these, which is the 7. 5 and 2, 7 of Cups. So they never actually work. But it backfires on this person because they never leave the toxic situation that they're in for a start. Like this person within here could be in a very toxic marriage already. Could be in something that is very alluring and addictive to someone that sets up situations in their life, but they don't actually leave the husband or wife or their person that they're with. They don't do that, right? So they have this like attraction, because the devil can be very alluring and attractive and like a devious kind of energy of attraction, right? So it attracts in energy that is not serious, right? So you get sexual healing, you get like phallic kind of stuff that gets floating around, you get flirting and you get teasing and everything else that comes through the devil, right? You get temptation, you feel dirty, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But then when you get those energies, if you get people that are not like I kind of know what I mean. Some people they set up situations to get them out of, which are there, but it turns around as a lesson, because I have always actually said that a Two of Cups will focus you out of a toxic situation, right? A Two of Cups is supposed to pull you spiritually, when you start to understand it spiritually, that Two of Cups is supposed to pull you from anything that is in your life that is toxic, right? If you're in a toxic marriage, if you're in a toxic situation, anything like that, from the past that you know is very bad, a Two of Cups is supposed to get you to focus on it to leave, right? To leave. It pulls you towards this energy, right? So when you get these, they always, 99% of the time, of 99 red balloons go by, they fail, right? They fail. Because it leaves this, it leaves the karma of like, well, were you really thinking about leaving that toxic situation anyway? So even whether you wasn't or whether you was, the energy now is getting you to focus that much on this energy that it's now down to you of where karma came back to you of, you're going to have to snap back to reality and realize that your life is going to have to sort itself out, where you have to sort your life out first yourself before you get ready prepared for a relationship if you're already in something toxic. Because a Two of Cups may backfire on anybody at any point, even me included at times, right? It backfires on people and then they end up in this energy left with the person that they wasn't really going to leave in the first place anyway, right? And that's where you get people that go back to their ex-partners and people that do all those kind of stuff, me included, right? They end up going back to their ex-partners. If you're indicative with a person with a Two of Cups here, and then someone decides to go back with their ex, it leaves this person here now thinking, what do I do without my ex, right? What do I do? What do I do with a number two? Well, they flush it. They turn into a little shit, right? So it's like, oh, you shit all over me. But was you really thinking about leaving this person anyway, of the situation that you were in? So if this person is complete deep-seated in denial, or Daniel, or anything like that, or Dan, then if they're, there you go. But like if they're completely and utterly in denial here, then they now have a Two of Cups with a person that has a relationship with their ex, future, or past partner. And you've had this, if I'm honest, Aquarius, where I've tried to read your readings for a while. And it's that. It feels like that. It feels like this, what we are spiritually. And trust me, I am nowhere near not included in all this shit, right? Is that spirit throws curveballs at you constantly. They toy with your energy spiritually, right? They get you to realise what's the circumstance that you're in already. Are you physically and utterly single, right? Are you physically and utterly in a relationship? Or are you in a metaphysical one of complete and utter distance that never really seems to come true, right? Never seems to come true. Because this is why I said constantly through experience as well, is those connections that are set up via online, of where people meet people across the world, right? Across the world, completely and utterly, right? And it was the Kathy Bates scenario all over, right? A lot of people, they meet people and they flirt and they tease with people all in stuff and God knows what else. But do they physically ever come true? Trust me, I've met so many people online, right? Do they really ever kind of, when you snap back into reality and you look at the whole scenario itself, does it ever really come into fruition, right? Does it? Because mythological stuff can be connections of anywhere. Trust me, it really does, right? Everybody starts throwing their hormones around, right? They do. Especially when everyone's spiritual, because if you can't meet anybody that's kind of on the same sort of wavelength, the only people that really meet people are the people that are all over YouTube and online and God knows what else already, right? So they flirt, they tease, they build up, you know, so on and so forth. But then it kind of like, it works itself out with whatever spirit kind of has here. Okay, sorry, there's so much commotion going on in the background. Okay, so we're going to go on with the rest of your reading there. Just very quick, short, sharp on YouTube. And then we go over to actual Patreon. Sorry, loads of noise. We go over to Patreon on the full access bundle. That is where I complete the reading for you, clarify them. And then we look into the energy that is coming towards you, right? What is going to be coming towards you. And then whatever it is that I find within friends, family, siblings, fights, war, sex, phallic stuff, connections, how the connection goes, work, anything like that, whatever it is, I find out what those are, that the energy that's coming towards you during that time, okay? But I don't normally do that one with a timeline. I just pretty much say, what's the next moves that are made towards Aquarius during this time, right? And then however long that is and when that comes through is down to you, okay? But that is what you'll find on the other side, and it is only on the full access bundle on Patreon, and you can find all the links provided below. Thanks very much, Aquarius, and I'll see you soon.